Welcome back, friends. My name is Uttam Chaudhary, and you have started to watch my channel Excel to Excellence. In the series of Excel Quick Buys, in this video, I'm going to cover how do we use get and transform to create a live web query. Now, in this case, say for example, um, you have any website or any web link which produces the live data as in like every minute or every second based on the type of website you've connected. If that particular site has the data refreshing every minute or every second, you can actually create a live web query in Excel so that as the data refreshes online, the same data also gets refreshed and you always have the fresh data on your Excel. Now, in this case, what I've done is I've taken a use case where, for example, a foreigner wants to buy Indian stock. Say, for example, if a person in US would like to buy Indian stock, or a person from UK or Australia would like to invest in Indian stocks. So what happens is, uh, they have to take care of two things. You have to have two live data in your hand. One, the live data of the stock in Indian market, and second is the exchange rate. So say Indian rupees to USD or AUD or GBP, whatever, wherever the investor is coming from. So the exchange rate also keeps changing every day. So at that point in time, you would be able to see that if if a person from North America wants to, or from US wants to invest in Indian stock, so what is the live price of Indian stock and the price of INR to USD, so that he is able to see how much USD would he wants to spend on buying a particular Indian stock. So there are two live data that you need to have in this case, and I would definitely show you how we can perform, or how we can create this using the live web query. So before I continue, please do subscribe my channel, do like and subscribe, and do click on the bell icon so that every time I drop a new video you don't miss anything. Thank you. So before I continue with the Excel sheet, let me take you to two different web links where I can get the data of Indian stocks, as well as I can get the live data of the rupee to various currency conversion. So this is a website which is quite popular in India, which has the live prices of all the stocks, and most of the stocks. I've actually taken top 100, but you can pretty much take whatever you want in this case. And this particular website has the live conversion rates from from rupees to various currencies. So what we are going to do is we are going to use these two websites to build our query. So I'm going to the sheet. What I'm going to do is, before that, I would first go, and what I'll do is for Indian stocks, I would go ahead and copy this web link, and I will switch to my Excel. I'll go to data, and under that, I'll click on from web. Once I click on from web, I can actually pretty much go ahead and paste the web link. Soon as I do that, what happens is it takes a little while it to show up, and it brings up the navigator. So what I'm going to do is here, it's taking a while, just bear with me. So let's see how it brings up the data. Preview is evaluating the data, I guess so. Brilliant. So if you see here, you exactly see the data that you have seen in this particular web link. So you have Reliance, TCS, SDFC, and here you go Reliance, TCS, FDA, SDFC. So I have to do some cleanup here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick this table, and instead of loading, because this I do want to do some transformation because I want to remove all of these extra add to portfolio, add to watch list. I do not want to see this. So I'll go ahead and transform this data. Now, in this case, what I'll have to do is I'll have to split columns. So let this come up in Power Query and see how we can achieve this. All right, let's see. Yep. So we see that there is a query. Let me name the query as Indian stocks. And since I'm seeing a lot of add to watch list and add to portfolio, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform this by splitting the column. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a custom, and would want to remove my delimiter here is the add word. So I use this pretty much, and you see that these names have got split out. So I would go ahead and delete these two guys, these two columns. I don't need them. Now you see that it's pretty clean. Yeah. Okay, I see that it has also taken the header as one of the data points, which is not correct. So I'm going to rename, first of all, I'm going to rename the headers to make it more appropriate. And this is looking like this. Okay, just because it has this, let me go ahead and hide, unselect the company name. Let me go ahead and do that, and it brings up this. And this seems okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this into currency because that's what it is. And I do not need the percentage change. I need the live prices, which is the last price in this case. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these four columns. I don't need them. I only need the live prices. So that's number one. So we are done with at least getting the prices of the prices of the Indian stocks. So let me go back to another link, which is this link in here where we have the data for all of these. And this is from rupees to Australian dollars to pounds to Canadian dollars, yuan, euros, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, copy this. Yeah. And I would go to, and then I would say new query, and then go to web. In here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the link again for the second live query to be created. As soon as I have the second live query created, then it's the case that I can do certain things in here. So let me see. Yes, there we go. So we need INR to AUD, GBP, Canadian dollars, USD, stuff like that, and what is the rate. So I'm okay with this. I'm going to go ahead and import table 1, which I would rename this table as exchange rate. Yeah, and I think these are some extra columns which were there. I don't need them. I'm going to go ahead and remove them. And I see that this is already converted into a, decimal, which is fair. In this case, we would need decimals. So this is the live query created, and this is as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get them onto our main sheet. So I'm going to do is close and load, and it will automatically load this into the main sheet. If you see, two of these live queries are getting the data. If you see both of them, It takes a while. This is exchange rate, and here we go with the Indian stocks. Let me see if it takes long. No, it doesn't. So it comes fairly quick. So I'll rename this file as exchange rates, and the Indian stock, I would rename this sheet as Indian stocks. Now, what I'm going to do is now I would like to know so if you look here, you always have an option of going to the properties of the query and say you want to refresh this every, say, 5 minutes. Yeah. And every time you open the file, the data gets refreshed. So it fetches the live data from that particular link. And how do we know that this particular site is connected to that link? I'll show you in a moment. So I would go ahead and make this as enable and refresh it by every 5 minutes. This is fine. And if you go here, you see pretty much that it is showing data sources as the link which I mentioned here. And it also shows when it got last refreshed, which means it is bringing down the live data. Now I have to just do a simple Excel formula. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rename, I would add a column called USD. And what I would do is I would actually go ahead, select this, and go to exchange rate. And this is USD, rupees to dollars. So I would go ahead and make this, freeze this. And when I click OK, you would see that it has now converted the Indian rupees. I would say okay. So I would say that this is the USD conversion. If somebody would want to buy no stocks for Reliance, then obviously last loaded price, if you go ahead and refresh the price, it would bring the new price, and based on which it would also refresh the exchange rate. And there we have the the USD that a person from United States would want to invest if he wants to buy stocks for Reliance. Similarly, if it is GBP, so would go ahead and say, hey, okay, select this, and then go to where are we? There we go. So rupees to pounds. I would say F4 here. If I do okay, so this pretty much tells me that if you are from US, you would have to spend $20 in order to buy shares for Reliance. And similarly, if you are from the Great Britain, then you have to pay you have to invest around this price. So similarly, I would do it for euro. I would do it for AUD, Australian dollar. So I would go ahead and select this. And here I would say, okay, where are we on euros? There we go, rupees to euros. I would say freeze this, and I would bring out rupees to euro. And then again, the same thing is if I go ahead and select, say, rupees to Australian dollars, so that would be this. So in this case, okay, this is bringing, well, this is bringing, I would let me copy this really, okay, because so say this into Australian dollars would be, well, it is B2, and I freeze this using F4, and there we go. Now, for the convenience, I can actually reduce this to maybe, 2 decimal columns. So, yeah, this looks good. So, every time there's a change in the stock, so you are doing a live trading, and every time there's a change in the stock price of Indian stocks, And if an American or a Brit or a person from Euro using countries or the Australian who want to spend in Indian stocks, what is their currency that they would want to spend? It's always very obvious that if you are from a certain country, you would always want to calculate in your own currency. Even if you are spending outside, though the money or the price in their currency, you would always want to calculate in your own currency that, okay, if I have to buy a certain stock, what is the price that I have to pay in my own currency? And this is how you can actually have two different live datas helping you build the price that you need to actually spend. So if you see here, it has just gone 5 minutes and it is again refreshing the data. So every time it automatically refreshes the moment, and anytime the data is refreshed on the website, it also gets refreshed on this particular Excel sheet. So I hope this was very helpful because it's quite easy then in that case. If you have a portfolio of certain stocks, you can actually create the live portfolio using the prices of the stock that you have bought, and you can actually see what is the live prices every day. And in case if you're a foreign investor, you can actually see the live prices going up and down into your own currency. Yeah, you can create those dashboards. So I hope this video was helpful. Do let me know how you feel about it. Please write your comments. Do like and subscribe my channel, and also click on the bell icon so that as soon as I drop any new video, you do not miss anything. Thank you so much.